first give us an update on Diego Chara?
I don't have an update. I wish I did, but don't know if he's going to be in or out, honestly. So I won't have an update till the game.
Do you think that'll be something that changes the philosophy in terms of formation a lot, given that he was so important with the single pivot that you've been using?
It always change. Every player changes everything you do in terms of decision. So you saw last game with Larry out. Obviously that changes. We don't have two attacking mids to play. So we went with the lineup that we felt fit the best 11, but also we felt versus Colorado, Alvis and Jorge would get forward more, so two holding mids gives us a little more protection. There, we knew they'd look to hit us on counters. That gives us a little more balance there. We knew they'd try to hit us on set pieces. It gives us a little more size there. So all those layers went into us making that decision. But the biggest one was Larry was out, so it changes everything. Now with Chara, in or out, does it change something? Every player in or out changes everything. So does it mean that we'll play with 2, 1? I think it's what we have to figure out. We have to look at the opponent as well, and we have to look at the other pieces of the puzzle, and we'll make decisions based on opponent, game plan, ourselves, best 11, all that stuff.
Does the knockout round kind of bring you back to your college days?
Yeah, it's exciting. 34 games, regular season, that's in the books. And we have a lot to feel good about. We have a lot we should feel good about after 34 games. We finished third best team, tied on points in the whole league. Third best. And second best, tied on points in the Western Conference. And we got 15 wins, which is the most in this club's history, MLS. So that's a lot to feel good about. But the best thing we can feel good about, or the biggest thing we can feel good about, is we're going in the playoffs in a position of strength as a third seed. Almost got the 2. We lost out on a tiebreaker, which would have been nice. We'd avoid the knockout. But we're going in as a 3 seed, which means we get a home game. And, playoffs is all about playing to win a trophy. And, so we feel good about the regular season, but the whole point of the regular season is to get in the playoffs and to try to make a run to win a trophy, which is what I've said all along. And like I said, we've put ourselves in a position where we're not limping in the playoffs. We're getting in a position of strength, which means we have a good chance to win it. But we've shown over the 34 games that we can beat anybody. We've shown we're one of the best teams in the league based on points and all the other trends. We've shown that we're top 3 in terms of goals given up defensively. In the last 3 games, we've scored 10 goals. So we've shown that we can score goals now as well. We're going with momentum, and like I've said all along, we're in it to win it. We're not as happy to be in it. And the 34 games and our body of work, that makes us feel good, but no one will remember that. What they're going to remember in 10 years is whether or not we win a trophy. That's what we're going to play for.
How much do you look back at the 2 recent games with Kansas City and get ready for this one?
You always look back. I look at everything. As a coach, you look at evidence on everything you have. You look at their team, our team. You look at the games you played, them. You look at their recent games, our recent games. All those things factor in. So I think they're a team that they've had success playing against us by being conservative, by being organized, and by not letting us break them down, and yet we've created a lot of chances against this team. We just didn't finish. And in the 2 recent games at home versus them, they got a point where we should have scored. We didn't. We probably had more clear chances in that game than we've had all year, and we didn't finish. And they got a point out of it. By being disciplined, being physical, and being organized, and looking for a moment. They didn't find the moment in that game. In the game we lost, it was a similar game. We probably didn't get quite as many chances, but we still had enough chances to score. And in that game, they found a goal in a moment of brilliance, if you remember, out of Nemeth. And that's why they won. So they were very similar games in terms of us being the more dominant team, having more chances, them not having many chances. The results were similar. The difference in the game they won was they found the chance to score. In both those games, we didn't score. But I like where we're at right now in terms of confidence in our goal scoring. We've been creating all year. We lead the league in shots. Said that a bunch. But now finally we're getting rewarded by getting goals. And ball's starting to bounce our way, and it couldn't come at a better time because momentum is huge going to the playoffs. You know, things are set up for us to, you know, to make a run here. But we have to get the job done. There's nothing guaranteed. So we go in a position of strength as a 3 seed, and we have a home game. It gives us a better chance than if we were obviously the 6 or, you know, on the road in the knockout. But nothing's guaranteed. We have to get the job done. We have to perform. And KC's a very good team. But, you know, we've shown through 34 games that we can beat anybody. You know, we beat Seattle, we beat LA, we beat the Crew, we beat New England. You know, we've beaten Dallas, some of the best teams in the league. We've gotten results against, and we've shown again over 34 games that we're right there amongst the best teams in the league in terms of points, and having, you know, one of the most difficult schedules. So all those things mean we're battle tested. Means that we can go in and get a result and make a run. And you know, I like the way things have shaped up for us. We got KC, take care of business, and we got a home and home with Vancouver. And Seattle and LA will fight it out. One of those teams will be out after Wednesday. Those are 2 of the best teams. So one of them are going to be out. And then they got to play Dallas. You know, so after the next round, then one of those 2 of those 3 will be out, and 1 will be in. So we got to take it one at a time. We're focused on Kansas City, but we know what's ahead, and we're excited. The players are excited. You know, this is the time of the year that we look forward to. But I'm definitely proud of the guys for how they finished, and I'm proud of their 34 games and the body of work and what they've shown.
When you look at obviously you guys are performing on offense in a different way than you were a lot when you previously played Kansas City, but 1 goal out of 3 games, Kansas City scores the 1. You guys, otherwise there weren't any goals in any of those games. Does that have to do with the way Kansas City plays as a team? Is that have to do with the challenges they present, or do you think that's just kind of how the game's played out?
I mean, they're a good team. They're organized. They have an experienced group. I mean, they've won trophies for a reason. They won MLS, you know, Cup 2 years ago. They won the Open Cup this year. You know, they're a very good team, and they're experienced. And like I said, organized, and they'll be up for it. But we got chances in those games. We were the better team in those games. You know, we got more chances. We just didn't finish. And we lost a little discipline on the 1 goal they scored with Nemeth. Because that was pretty much the only clear chance, other than the one that Adam tipped over the bar. I think it was Mikey Lopez that hit it. Adam tipped it, but you know, Nemeth was a goal out of nothing. You know, but they really had 2 chances over 90 minutes, which we've shown we can defend really well against Kansas City, which is something that you have to do against a good team. And we've shown we can get chances in the game. Chances were there, but you know, I think the finishing now, the confidence, and like I said, the ball's starting to bounce our way. You know, the ball's around to go around. You know, things come around in this sport. You know, sometimes it's cruel short term. I say this all the time, but it always tends to come around if you continue to earn the right for it to come around. And with the chances we've gotten, with the shots we've gotten this year, the 10 goals in the last 3 games, I think is fair that we're scoring, because we've had games where we should have scored and we didn't. We played well enough to win games, and we didn't some of those games. You know, but you know, sure enough, we won 15, didn't we? And sure enough, we ended with 3, you know, 3rd best points per game in the league. You know, so we've proven we can be one of the best teams, and we've proven we can make a run. But it's not going to be easy. The West is brutal, and KC is one of the best teams, no doubt about it. Even though they finished 6, you know, Seattle, LA are 2 of the best teams in the league, and they finished below us. You know, so it shows the type of season this group has had, which should give us confidence. That's it. Doesn't ensure anything, doesn't mean anything. You feel good about those things, but ultimately it's about the playoffs now, and we'll get our head wrapped around the playoffs, and we'll be up for it. We'll be ready to make a run.
After the game, when talking about Kansas City, Borchers said that kind of owed them a thank you, because with those results, put your backs against the wall, and you guys performed. Is that, you think that maybe your team has that feeling, like they're almost glad they got Sporting KC?
We'll play anybody. You know, I don't know if we're glad, but we'll play anybody. You know, and but you know, last 2 times we played them, we felt we deserved more out of the game. So I think that's the big thing. You know, when you talk about things, you know, going full circle, and you know, I like the fact that we're playing them, because the last 2 games I felt we deserved more out of the game. you know, maybe there's some other teams we deserve less. I don't know, you know. So it's going to be a really exciting game. I know our fans will be buzzing. We need them behind us like they've been all year. You know, can't thank them enough for what they've given us this season. They're a big reason where we're at. You know, I like the fact that my group has shown that we're very balanced home and away. That's huge in the playoff. We've won 8 games at home and 7 on the road. Out of the 15 wins, we've got a nice balance there. So if we can get by this game, then now we go into the home and home, and we're a team that's proven we can go and win on the road, which is important in the playoffs. So things have set up nicely for us, but the only thing that will determine whether or not we win is the 90 minutes and how we play. That's it. So, you know, I can talk, and everybody can talk, and everybody will, but ultimately it's going to come down to those 90 minutes. But we're at home, and I like the way we're playing right now.
Looking back to the last playoff run, the lessons you learned in that series with Salt Lake kind of go into building this team and kind of the hard-nosed mentality that it has become?
I think it definitely will once we get into the Vancouver series, because obviously then now there's a little bit more of a chess match in terms of how you approach home and away, and you know, the away goals are the tiebreaker and all that. So you know, the knockout, it's a one-off, you know, so it's win and you move on, or lose it or you go home. It's that simple. So the nice thing is our guys have been in that do or die mindset for the last 3 games under massive pressure. You know, that last game, you know, we're 1-1, knowing, I think at the time San Jose was up in the game, knowing that if we had another stumble and give up a goal and San Jose wins, we're out of the playoffs. You know, those are things that guys, you know, they knew, they were aware of. And the fact that we played some of our best soccer of the year under the most pressure of the year really says a lot about the character of the group, that they're up for it. And I know they'll be up for this next game, but I also know Kansas City will also. I mean, they've got some really experienced guys on that team, which will make for, it's going to make for a dogfight. There's no doubt about it. It's going to make for a really tight, physical, you know, intense game.
We saw Jack Jewsbury for most of the second half. We saw Will Johnson on the bench. How are those guys coming along, and is it possible that either of them will be fit to start if need be?
Yeah, they could be. Yeah, they could be.
The other guy I wanted to ask about was Fanendo Adi. He was wearing a knee brace. Looked like he was maybe limping a little bit out there. Is he going to be available for the game?
He could be. Could be.
Could you be available?
Chara could be. I could not be. Good thing I can't run. But yeah, Adi could be. Chara could be. Will could be. And Jack could be. I don't know if they will be. They could be. Adi will be. Come on, let's be honest.
There you go. There you go. Unless his leg's not there.
Yeah, exactly.
Last question.
Thank you.
Thanks,
All right,
Coach.
guys,
Appreciate
thanks.
it.
Thanks a lot.